Welcome to Campus Connection.
Coming up next, Gen Z voters make a big difference at this year's midterm elections and really showed up in numbers.
And their dedication to voting has the ability to make an impact.
Students are coming back for their peace and quiet. Event planners are coming back to hold their events here. The Japanese Garden at CSU Long Beach is open again after being closed for the pandemic. More on this story after the break.
All of that and more coming up next.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Marianne Bruschi.
And I'm Penelope Carrillo. The youth vote had a much greater impact than many predicted for this year's midterm elections.
Anthony Orico talked to young voters about the election.
The 18 through 29-year-old age group has historically been seen as the most politically apathetic age group, especially when it comes to midterm elections. But the last two midterm elections have had many more youth voters heading to the polls compared to previous years. According to a Tufts University analysis, 27% of eligible voters 18 to 29 turned out in this election, and while that may not seem like a lot, it is a big jump from 2014 where only 13% of youth voters turned out. We spoke with some younger voters to see what issues drove them to the polls this year.
The midterms were a super important election, I would say. There was a lot at stake. I'm not gonna lie. The abortion issue and the revocation of Roe is what brought me out. I also wanted to vote for elect a new mayor in Long Beach.
Younger voters also overwhelmingly favored Democrats this election, with 60% of the 18 to 29-year-old vote going to the party. And with less than half of Gen Z of voting age, they will continue to make impacts in the 2024 election and beyond.
I know that there was a bigger turnout for people my age this year, which was great, but I just hope to see it continue in the future, really.
Despite being roughly 15% of the population, 18 to 29-year-olds hold only one seat in the House of Representatives, with the average age of a representative being 58 years old. The generation most impacted by the decisions made in Washington is sure to have a bigger say in things going forward. Anthony Orico reporting for Campus Connection.
It took some time for some races to be called, but there was some history making wins. In a tight race for the Los Angeles mayor, Karen Bass is the first woman elected. Other key races include Senator Alex Padilla for Senate and voters maintaining a stance to keep abortion legal in the state with Proposition 1. This midterm election was vital in making firsts for Southern California, including Long Beach Mayor Robert Garcia being elected as the first openly gay immigrant in Congress. Garcia spoke to the Southern California News Group and says he is motivated by helping others.
In another first, Long Beach State hosted its first College of Liberal Arts Day for students to join clubs. Italian musicians serenaded the students as they walked around visiting different clubs. Opportunities to study abroad and student media clubs such as the Chicano and Latino Studies hosted booths in the quad on Upper Campus. Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies also participated in CLA Day.
Talking about our club and about other stuff on campus. We're hoping that we build a bigger community and make the department more known.
Pizza was provided for students, as well as a scavenger hunt throughout the booths for a chance to win gift cards to the 49ers store.
Long Beach State students are growing wary of the cost of parking on campus. Reporter Vincent Medina spoke with students.
The rising cost of parking fees at Long Beach State is creating additional stress for students who park on campus. In an interview with the Daily 49er, Parking and Transportation Services PR specialist Chad Keller says the increase in parking prices is mostly due to inflation and to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Parking on campus can cost students up to $500 per year. This, on top of the rising costs of fuel and tuition, can put a financial burden on students who primarily commute to campus.
I am traveling about 25 to 30 minutes a day to and from campus, and so because I commute so much, I usually end up filling my gas tank about once a week, and right now it's around $60.
Because I need my car here because I need to be able to be going home on my own and stuff like that. So the fact that I had to pay $100 more than what every other student not dorming has to pay just because I live here, I thought was a little annoying.
Some students say they understand the increase in parking fees, but they wish there were more parking spaces because it can take some students up to an hour to find parking on campus. A semester parking pass costs $250, and students can purchase their campus parking pass at the university website. Vincent Medina, Campus Connection.
On Tuesday mornings, students at Long Beach State can swing over to the farmers market for fresh produce and food. The event takes place in the Student Rec Center entry plaza every Tuesday. Since last month, vendors have stood in the plaza and sold food from a variety of different cultures, offering students an opportunity to expand their palates. It's also a place where the vendors can recover a bit of what they lost in the pandemic.
So this gives you a little bit of more like small business and supporting small. And I think the students are for that, and I think this generation supports more small business than I've ever seen in my life.
Last Tuesday, the market featured 11 different stalls. Some sold food, while others sold items like handmade soap and jewelry. The last day it will be open in the semester is next Tuesday on December 6th.
Students are beginning to prepare for the rainy season and obstacles that come with it. Reporters Linda Mine and Emily Bloomquist are speaking with Long Beach State students on their take with the rain on campus.
Right now, at least, because I just barely came, and I think right now everyone's in class, so I came when there's no traffic.
Rain does not fall often in Southern California, but students are prepared and explain that the rain did not majorly affect their day.
Were you discouraged at all this morning coming to class because of the rain?
I think I might have left my house a bit later because I didn't want to wait till my bus stop for too long. But, you know, I didn't consider not coming.
Students are ready for the colder, rainy weather that is heading to Long Beach, breaking out their raincoats and umbrellas.
Did you prepare in advance knowing it was going to rain? Was there anything you did different?
Yeah, I'm dressed in 3 layers instead of 1.
For at least one day in November, the rain has come to the beach as quickly as it has left. However, we can expect more of this gloomy and wet weather in the months to come.
So far, it seems like students in Southern California are becoming more prepared this time around. Linda Mai, Campus Connection.
The beach took on the University of St. Catherine Firebirds in men's basketball. Richard Mendoza went to the Pyramid to check it out. Hey Richard, what's going on?
Thanks, Maron. Hey, a weekend of sports for Long Beach State, highlighted by men's basketball's performance against the St. Catherine Firebirds on November 19. It was a dominant first half that helped the Beach take down the Firebirds, overall shooting 55.7 field goal percentage on the game as a team, and led offensively by junior guard Marcus Sabonis with 20 points. The Beach jumped out to a 36-13 lead at the end of the first half and would never trail. 26 turnovers by the Firebirds allowed the Beach to capitalize on offense and perform well in all facets of the game. Final score being 84-55 Long Beach State. Abubakar Traore contributed with 11 points and 10 rebounds in 22 minutes of playing time, and Joel Murray contributed with 13 points in 21 minutes. Over the Thanksgiving weekend, Long Beach State, represented by men's basketball, participated in the NASA Championship of Baha Mar Hoops, finishing 3rd in the tournament. The Beach will play 2 more road games before returning home December 19 versus Life Pacific. Back to you, Marianne and Penelope.
Thanks, Richard. I always love hearing about a beach win. The Japanese Garden at Long Beach State is trying to raise money. Over the last couple of years, the garden lost revenue after the pandemic forced its closure. Reporter Stephen Matthews went out to the garden to find out more.
The koi fish are hungry for students to return to the Japanese garden this semester. The garden was closed for COVID, and in that time the garden lost some much needed revenue, but a recent fundraiser, Long Beach Gives, helped bring in just over $17,000, and the director of the garden is hoping that people will start renting the garden for events again.
We also do things like weddings, we do photo shoots, we do memorial services are very popular. You know, some people want to rent it out for baby showers or other things. So,
even though the garden costs $200,000 a year to run, CSULB students no longer need to pay a fee to enter. They just need to download the app, get their free membership, and come on down and see what the garden has to offer.
I just think it's very peaceful out here. It's kind of like a moment to step back from school without having to leave school.
Even people who aren't students yet still love to come to the garden and share it with others.
It's a beautiful place, a calm place. When I bring my friends, they love it. they say, oh my God, thank you so much for being here. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. I enjoy myself as well.
There's plenty of shade for reading, plenty of space for a yoga mat. The garden is a place of peace and quiet, right in the middle of a hectic college campus.
When you're here in the garden, there's just no better place to be.
To get in, you'll need a reservation and bring 6 of your friends. Stephen Matthews, Campus Connection.
With finals around the corner, Long Beach State's student government put on a 3-day self-care event. The event started last week with writing positive affirmations on Post-it notes and putting it on the Go Beach sign. This day emphasized emotional well-being. The second event involving signing the giant Good Luck beach ball. This beach ball could be seen throughout the campus and emphasized well-being. The final day included swag with goodie bags that included the Post-it notes from Monday. This day was all about social well-being.
Collaborated together to plan this event called Finals Self-Care in order to help encourage students to really support their self-care before finals, because I know it can be a stressful time.
Finals take place December 12th through the 17th.
Wow, that looked like so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful during finals. And that brings us to the end of today's newscast.
Thank you for joining us here at Campus Connection, where we bring the news to you. I'm Marianne Bruschi.
And I'm Penelope Carrillo. Enjoy the rest of your day.